I wrote this little book. It's 40 pages, but don't worry, most of it is photographs. Yeah. But the reason I've written this book is because when I entered the corporate sector, I learned something. I learned that a degree, a qualification, a certificate, honestly, you need that to get in. But after that is when your career begins, not before. I learned that I was sometimes on a floor with 300 or 400 people with the world's best CVs, who came from the world's best universities. And I was among them. As you can see, it's 10 mistakes that you make when you enter the corporate world. So the idea actually was to get you to read that before you came to the speech, so that at the speech I could tell you how not to make those mistakes. But don't you worry, I'm going to share 3 of those with you today in the interest of time. And then you can go back and you can read the mistakes and then read all 10 on how not to make those mistakes when you get into the corporate world, banking, whatever. Some of the bankers, some of the people in the corporate sector have Harvard degrees from Princeton, Cambridge, all over the world. And they all come in. And you have got to compete with them. So did I. But how do you win? And how do you get noticed on a floor of 400 people? How does the top boss pick you out and start to mentor you, help you, coach you, promote you, and take you to the top? How does that happen? It doesn't happen with you saying, I'm from Harvard, because we don't have Harvard or Oxford and all written on our foreheads and roaming about all day. We don't have all that. We are just who we are. But your attitude can get you picked out, just like I was picked out. I walked onto that floor, and I have no shame in telling you this, like a little slum girl. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know who to ask. But I had a lot of the stuff that many of those people didn't. And that's how I got to the top. My third point I want to share with you, and I say don't be a negative MBA. You all know what an MBA is, right? You don't see that. All right. Okay, it's a Master's in Business Administration. A lot of bankers have that degree. But we had a little joke. Now don't go outside this room and tell this to anyone. We had a little joke in banking. And we actually, anyone came with an MBA with a big attitude, if you would say, can you do that? No, I don't do that. No, I come from Oxford. No, I can't touch that. No, that's not my job. You know what? No. We actually had a secret in banking. We used to call them Mr. or Miss Big Attitude. That was our secret. Do you know what used to happen to them? It's very sad. Because year after year, I would say to my boss, come on, Danny, Phil is sitting there for so long, he works so hard. He would say, let him sit there another year. He's got a bad attitude. No bonuses, no promotions, no increments. And they'll just tell you, the bank is really suffering this year with figures. We've made terrible losses. We can only give bonuses to the very top guys. But actually they're giving it to all your peers, and all your peers have been told, don't tell him. Yeah, that's what happens. I'm telling you the truth. But if you don't have a bad attitude, they have something called a bell curve. And they will go through that bell curve with a fine-tooth comb, and if they like you, they will give you a promotion, a bonus, and anything you ask for. I sometimes got bonuses more than the top sales guys. I sometimes got the head of our admin, and I'm not talking admin like in office admin, I'm talking global admin. I sometimes got more than him. And he was very cheesed off. But that's what can happen when you say, give me the job, I'll do 2 jobs. Do you know I had 2 jobs in Bank of America, 2 jobs in ABN AMRO, and 2 jobs in RBS. When I came to this country and I was interviewed, I said to my boss, tell me, can you give me 2 jobs? He said, doesn't happen in this country. I said, no one has to know, it's between you and me. Yeah, so give me the job. I used to go to work at 8 in the morning, and I never ever came home till 10, half 10, 11 at night, every day, for 13 and a half years. I spent it on the 9th floor of 250 Bishopsgate, and that building, as you know, it's always on the news. But that's where I spent my life. But I would do pretty much anything, and I would work as hard as I possibly could to get to the top and to learn from these guys. I knew they knew so much. They had such great minds. They were some of the most brilliant minds on the planet. And I knew I had to learn from them. But they would only help you if you had a great attitude and you were humble enough to ask for their help. And of course you did whatever work they asked you initially.